Everson. We'll talk about that. Life optimization.
Life optimization.
I
think we're live. Oh, we're live. Good morning.
Life optimization today with Scott Everson, Alia, and Dr. Nelson. And Alia, you want to take the lead here?
Yeah, let me see. Okay, guys, I just want to tell you something. So I got, oh my goodness, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry, I had two other YouTubes going at the same time. So I got an eye exam yesterday. So I started this carnivore way of eating approximately 2 years ago. I am not the perfect person, but I've had many wins, and this is the biggest win I've had. I swear to God. What are these little papers? This is my eye exam from a year and a half ago. Let me see. No, this is from a year and a half ago, and I have like remarkable change in one of my eyes. So this says -475. This was like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. And this was yesterday, -375 in the same eye. So it really jumped an entire point in my eyesight. This one has like fractional improvement, but I've got improvement in both my eyes. And I just have to say a funny story. So 2 days ago, I thought I saw like a wasp nest in my ceiling. And I'm like, Caesar, there's a wasp nest. He's like, it's literally a rock. It's a rock.
Carnivore gives you like Superman vision. Like you start seeing through doors soon.
I hope so, but no, it's actually the opposite. He's like, it's a rock. It's not a wasp nest. And then I saw something else somewhere. He's like, it's not that. He's like, we got to get your eyes checked. Like, what's going on? My glasses are too strong. That's what's going on. I can't see. All right, so that is the big news. Second,
did I mention what happened to me a couple of weeks just before going to Austin?
No. You did, but not on a live stream.
Yeah, the day before I went to Austin, I went to get my license renewed. Had been 9 years, I think. Probably longer because the last time I renewed it over the mail, so they changed it. They didn't change the picture. Anyways, I've worn glasses for over 40 years. I passed my eye exam at the DMV without my glasses for the first time ever.
Wow. This is crazy stuff.
You guys should tell Lisa Wiedemann about this.
Yeah, I think I'll text her afterwards. I'll just text her the photos of my eye exams.
Sorry. Your second announcement?
Oh, Nick Norwitz is going to be hanging out with us in Boston as a speaker to the event. Yay!
Awesome.
There we go. Those are all my announcements. I'm going to shut up.
Let's get Nick on one of our mornings in a carnivore conversation in the next coming weeks, so we can introduce Nick to our community. And we've got Kiltz Mighty Tribe on live. We got Dr. Kiltz Instagram live. And of course, we got YouTube, Facebook. And today we have the most amazing Scott Everson, healing, all of us, developer of so many great ideas that have helped me in my life. And we got Meat Stock coming up. Scott, how you doing, my brother?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
Can't be better now that I'm here hanging out with Nelson, Alia, and Scott Everson in this world of healing. It is quite remarkable. Let's see. You're in St. Petersburg, Florida. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah.
And Alia is in Colombia.
I am.
South America. And Dr. Nelson is in Central Florida?
Central Florida, yeah.
And Kiltz is in Colorado Springs today. We went to the famous steakhouse last night. Oh my God, the best tomahawk ribeyes, lobster. It was like crazy amazing. So Scott, what's going on with you and Meat Stock and helping to heal humanity?
Well, so this Meat Stock is sold out. I think maybe like introduce people to Meat Stock. Because a lot of people probably don't know about it. It's kind of a well-hidden secret for most people in the carnivore space. But, it's kind of like holding a carnivore convention, I guess. I already have 2026 lined up. And I don't know, is there a way that we could pull up the speaker list for next year? Can we go to the website, Aaliyah?
Yeah, I can pull up the speaker. Is it on your website?
Meat Stock. If you go to meatstockconvention.com.
Meat Stock. Okay.
Yeah. I have a pretty epic guest list for next year.
I'm so pumped. I can't wait.
And for those listening on Instagram and Kiltz Mighty Tribe, if you have questions for Scott Everson, for Dr. Nelson or Ali or myself, please just put QQQ, put them in there. What are we doing? Hashtag Scott or hashtag?
We're doing hashtag meat stock for a chance to win a Kiltz Cup today.
Yeah, hashtag meat stock.
Okay, thank you.
Right on.
We need to get Dr. Nelson to this meat stock too, by the way.
He'll be there. We'll all be there with bells on.
Good.
So would you like me to roll down? Would you like to go
over
this?
So just go down, just scroll down. Just scroll down, yeah.
Oh, wow.
All the speakers there. So we got Michaela Peterson, Chafee, Barry, Baker, Kiltz, and a lot of different, I'm trying to mix it up a little bit this year. So with more of the Maha crowd, because that's sort of the theme, and kind of, trying to, my idea was trying to marry us a little bit more into the political space and try to get like a different variety of people, get farmers there, get, keto people there, like Dr. Berg and Vonnie Harry. Vonnie Harry is actually more plant-based, but she's carnivore friendly. Like I had a conversation with her and she is definitely interested in getting more into the carnivore space. So like Ben Bickman, Georgia Eade, Joel Salton, he's a big farmer here in the US, Nick Norwitz. So you guys probably know a lot of these people.
What's the date of the Meat Stock 26?
What's that? What's
the date? So people could put the date.
It's not for a long time from now, but the retreat sells out fast. I'll tell you guys. So Meat Stock 2026 is April 30th to May 4th. That's the retreat. And if you're looking to join the convention, it's May 2nd and 3rd. So it is up now for sale, even though Meat Stock 2025 still hasn't happened yet. But we're sold out. Yeah, we're sold out for Meat Stock 2025. So,
and what's the difference between the convention and the retreat?
Well, the retreat, you get to live with the speakers, which is kind of cool. So if you want to see what, Michaela Peterson and Dr. Kiltz and these people, what they're like to live with, if they're grouchy in the morning or if they, if they help take out the garbage and stuff like that, then we'll see. Dr. Baker was taking out our garbage last year. So I feel pretty privileged to say that. But yeah, we got some awesome MCs coming next year as well. Dave Mack and
I'm so coming to 26.
Yeah, all my favorite people are going to be MCs next year. And
cool.
Aww.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so maybe you just tell those people here that are listening, don't know Scott Everson, how long you been in the carnivore space? What type of things have you healed and helped on this journey?
Yeah. So what have I healed and helped on this journey? Well, it's been a very complicated case. I'm not one of those hey, I'm carnivore for a week and everything got healed.
Yeah.
That's just one of those guys. I've been extremely sick for 15 years and it's a long haul thing for me. But what I do with Wired for Healing, okay, it's very complicated and I'm so disorganized when I talk about this stuff, to be honest with you. If I'm to go back to my story, I was severely damaged from psychotropic drugs, so benzodiazepines and Cymbalta, which I'm still tapering off of. And I had severe nervous system damage, and I developed mast cell activation syndrome, and a severe intolerance to plants. Everyone says that they're the worst case, but I honestly think I'm the worst case with plants of anyone that you've ever met before.
Wow.
I can't have a single plant food. I don't care what it is. Salicylates, I'm extremely reactive to salicylates, and salicylates are in pretty much every plant food you could find. So the second I eat anything to do with plants, I will break out in rashes. I will get severe brain fog, like I'm living on Mars. I'll have derealization. I wake up, I don't even know who I am. It's horrendous. So I'm severely severely reactive to plant foods. I went carnivore, but the problem is with carnivore, I'm also severely reactive to fat. So it's not easy living off of lean protein. Fat I don't do well with. I think because I've had such severe gut inflammation, like my gastroenterologist said I have like one of the worst cases of gastritis he's ever seen. And the problem is with fat, especially like rendered fat, destroyed me. But the problem is with fat is that, obviously it takes a lot of acid to break that down. So, and the acid stays in your stomach for longer. So that was a huge problem. So something that's really saved me is combining carnivore, being somewhat lower fat carnivore with a lot of fasting, which hasn't really done well for me weight wise, but it's been very healing for me. I just came off of a 72-hour fast, and that's been like a massive game changer for me. So I'm just going to keep doing that protocol of fasting and carnivore, and yeah, I'm feeling okay. I go through like a lot of detox, just because I have like severe like nervous system damage. I don't tolerate things very well, and I've done some treatments recently that led to a lot of detox, and I'm not feeling so hot, but for the most part on carnivore, I feel pretty good, and I feel like I'm finally healing, and cognitively, I feel like way better than I have in a long time, and yeah, so it's a process, right? It's a long time, and I expect maybe within a couple of years, maybe I'll be at the point where I'll be able to exercise again and put some more weight on, and maybe start eating some bacon and eggs again and stuff like that, because I have severe histamine intolerance. And I just spoke to Lynn at Healing Humanity yesterday, and she's been on Lion Diet for a year, and she hasn't been able to eat eggs and bacon and stuff like that in years and years. And she's actually able to eat that stuff again. So that gave me hope that I won't have to be like so strict with my diet anymore. So
what's your thoughts on raw meat?
I like raw meat for the average person. I tried eating raw beef a few years ago, and I know a lot of people don't believe in this, but I got food poisoning. I really believe I did. I went to the hospital. I fainted. I was on the toilet all week, and I was severely ill. And then they tested me, and I tested positive for Campylobacter. And I basically couldn't get off the toilet for a week. And I lost like, I don't know, 12 pounds or something like that. So that was like I think, with raw meat, I really think that you have to have the stomach acid to break down the bacteria. And if you are devoid in stomach acid like I am, then it's probably best to avoid raw meat. That's my personal experience, but I know a lot of people think that's pretty controversial.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned you have a problem digesting fats. Have you pinpointed if it's all the fats versus some of the fats? I mean,
it's all fat, like all meat fat. I think what it is for me, a lot of it is like I have severe mast cell activation syndrome, and inflammation comes with that, right? So I have this chronic inflammatory process going on, and I've been working on that. I actually have a community called Bard for Healing, and we work on healing the nervous system. So, my biggest thing right now is dealing with stress, chronic stress, and I always say to people that the biggest toxin out there isn't mold. It's not heavy metals. It's not, even plant foods. The biggest toxin out there is chronic stress, especially in our society nowadays. People are living in chronic stress. People hate their work. People have bad relationships. I think that the modern society today is just conducive to living with chronic stress. So that is something I've been working on, and that's helped me tremendously work on my stress and my mindset and spirituality and um, community. Community, it's not; these aren't really sexy things to talk about. I like Dr. Kiltz. You probably seen this a lot, right? And I'm not trying to uh, put down any doctors or anything like that. But I think it's sexy to always have like a diagnosis. And usually the diagnosis in our space is costly. It's very costly to fix. If we go after mold or um, that type of thing, a lot of like mold and heavy metals is kind of the typical diagnosis nowadays. But if you're going to go after that stuff, it costs tens of thousands of dollars to heal from that. If you're going to go on like the what is it, the SIRS protocol, it's like $25,000, $30,000 I hear people spending on this stuff. And I'm like, well, how much of this is real and how much of it isn't, right? Because a lot of times when I talk to people, it's like, okay, what happened before you got sick? I always ask that question. What happened before you got sick? And it was always some kind of stressor. There was always some kind of trauma. I went through divorce. I was vegan, which is stressful in the body. Whatever. It could be anything. I had financial troubles. They had some kind of crazy trauma in the past. And to me, like, I would say the vast majority of the time, that's when people got sick. It's stress. It's the chronic stress. I'm not talking about acute stress. People hate their work. They hate their boss. They got bullied at work. They had some sort of relationship problems or something like that. To me, that is the number one toxin. It's just not a very sexy thing to go after if you're a coach, because the protocol, the treatment for that is free, right? You deal with stress. How do you deal with stress? Well, you incorporate a lot of different tools. You could do meditation. You could talk about visualizations. You could talk about incorporating more spirituality in your life. Community to me has been one of the most healing things ever. And just finding like-minded people, like that's why I started Meat Stock. Like I started doing retreats partially. Like the first couple of retreats, I made no money off that. People are like, "Oh yeah, you're making all this money on the retreats." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I made zero money. I lost all my retreats." And partially, like it was kind of, because I was so sick that I was bedbound for years on end, and I basically lost all my friends. Like I'll be honest, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I had like no friends before carnivore. Like I had a couple friends in Canada, but I had no friends here in Florida. And I got divorced, and I have my two kids, and my two kids have been my life. I have a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Wow.
And I really had no one to hang out with. And I'm like, I was dying to just be with people. So I started doing these retreats, and I did a carnivore retreat. And my God, like just for that 5 days, I went from feeling like a 5 out of 10 to like a 10 out of 10. I felt amazing. Same thing with the last Meat Stock, even last year I was not doing so well, especially health wise. Like my mental health was still really poor. And I did a retreat and I just felt amazing just being around like-minded people. And, it's so loving there. And, guys like Kiltz are so inspiring to listen to. And everyone's like putting their arms around each other and going through this like healing journey together. It just helped so much, having that support. So that's why I started getting into this hardcore, and I started going to all these meetups this year and all these I'm going to like other people's retreats, and I love it, man. It's just the best thing in the world. So
I think the community has been the most inspiring for me and people like yourself, Dr. Nelson Alia, and so many of the people that were all sort of co-following each other. There's no hierarchy here. We're all on a level playing field. And I agree with you. worry, fear, regret, judgment, stress, which is a mindset, and meditation, prayer, connection, community, love. These are the things that I think have helped us tremendously. Whether you're a vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, pescatarian, or carnivore, and the beauty is how we can bring more people. It doesn't matter what your lifestyle is. This is a supporting, and think of coming to Meat Stock and coming to these lives. And why do I do these 5 a.m.s? The same reason. I need community. And so, I've been grateful to so many, and connecting with all of you here on all of these platforms. We're really brothers and sisters around the globe, and life is stressful. Isn't that just the nature of it?
It is, yeah. I mean, you can't escape this life without going through severe hardships, and trauma in your life. Mm-hmm. I don't know anyone who hasn't. I mean, unless you have a golden horseshoe up your ass, but I don't think anyone goes through this life without dealing with severe stress, severe trauma. Death is traumatic. It's.
Well, what if it's part of the training grounds? What if we reset what it is? And what if we think about this life journey as the stress and struggles strengthen of us and give us a more sort of eclectic and vibrant life we're living? It's kind of supposed to be this way. And what if we thought, wow, this is so amazing. Look what you're going through. And we're doing it together, right? Like we're on a sports team. We're all learning to either run a marathon or play a game together. This is part of the game. And that's why I think these meetups in person, like Meat Stock, are so important. I'm going to be with the Browns on Saturday in Memphis, Tennessee. I think, and there's still tickets available, I think.
There are.
Put that link there.
I'll add the link right now.
Dr. Ken Gary will be there.
That's awesome. That's in Yuma, right?
It's in Memphis, Tennessee with the G's. Oh, Yuma, Tennessee is coming up. What's the date on that?
Yuma, Tennessee, April 13th.
Okay. And I'll be in Austin at the Health Optimization Summit at that time.
Is health optimization complicated?
Not really. Just eat right, deal with stress, lifestyle, just, get out in the sun, community, have friends, it's not that complicated, but it could be complicated. I guess even the simple things.
We complicate it.
That's right. Yeah.
So part of the things I've learned over my lifetime at 69 years young, I'm in my 70th year of life. I'm like, whoa. And almost 15 years of carnivore. But am I perfect? No, I'm not. Do I once in a while have a martini or some French fries or Kiltz's ice cream? Sure, I do. And what I've learned is that we're the mindset and working together is just like the most important thing. And so, can you imagine if we had no issues or problems? What will we have to meet up about?
Oh, sorry. Was that for me?
Actually, what the answer was perfect. Nobody said anything because nothing, right? If we don't have trauma, problems, stress, physical, mental, emotional,
only those that are not alive.
Dr. Kiltz, take your shirt off for us. Some brand new yeah.
Well, listen, Sean Amara. So I'm on with Sean Amara. He takes his shirt off. And I'm like, okay, I take my shirt off. And then I saw someone put my video up there. I'm like,
I did.
It was.
I kind of hated Sean in Wyoming. I'm like, who is this guy? It was like 50 degrees in Wyoming every morning. He's like running around with his shirt off and stuff like that. Who's this guy?
Okay. Oh, Tia's gonna be mad at me. She hates me doing this shit.
All the ladies and some guys are going to be all over you. That's why.
I need to do actually when we are in Tennessee next month, Malcolm is going to do a video and you're just going to be there like Anthony Chafee cutting meat without your shirt on. And the title is going to be Watch Out, Anthony Chafee.
Oh yeah, we're coming after you, Chafee.
I'll do that in about 15 years, by the way.
Yeah. Chafee and
Sean Baker.
And Sean, right?
Yeah, okay. I'm calling it meat stock. We're gonna do a push-up contest, all shirtless. If you guys want to come, I'm promising this right now. Shirtless, Chafee, Kiltz. We'll get Sean Baker and Dr. Bear. We'll do a push-up contest.
So what got me, like the mindset got me to change. And as we think, so shall it be. Now they're putting chips in the brain, right? And these chips are allowing people through their thoughts to manipulate other muscles and things, like to move their wheelchair or something, right? And so I imagine that our thinking is an energetic vibration that absolutely changes and creates our lives. And that's why I think it's what's such an important thing, as you spoke about meditation, prayer, visualization, but positivity. And you were mentioning about the diagnoses. How many diagnoses are there in the ICD 10, 11, or 12, Dr. Vasquez?
Thousands and thousands.
I mean, could there be a million? I don't know. It's like a lot, right?
It's revised every year. I was just looking at some ICD-10 codes and thinking, yeah, this one has been updated already since this list was printed. And anyways, there are thousands and thousands.
Yeah, here's a comment from David Devoki. So much of life is perspective. It is not so much what happens to you, but how you take it. Every day is a gift and a fresh palette to build something amazing. A question from Richard Hepburn. How do you deal with your fat aversion? Fat is so important. That's got to be a challenging one for all of us, right?
Yeah, well.
And I think it's one of the biggest. It's so big because remember, people are averse to being fat and eating fat. Nobody eats fat in this world. Fruit, fiber, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and lean meat. There's no fat. They cut it away, right?
I mean, I eat more fat than probably the average person does. Like in one day, I probably eat more fat than the average person does in a week. So, I mean, most people eat lean chicken and stuff like that. Like, I'm still eating like some fat. I just can't do like a lot of fat at one time.
What symptoms do you get when you eat the fat?
I get really bad acid reflux, and then I get, along with that, it's kind of like histamine type symptoms. So I get intrusive thoughts, brain fog. I break out, like my sinuses get inflamed. I get because I get really bad pain in my eustachian tube from the acid reflux, and that goes into my ear. So I get severe ear pain. And then like heart pounding and stuff like that. So it's I mean, those are symptoms I deal with on a daily basis, but it gets worse when I eat a lot of fat. Especially rendered fat's been the worst. I mean, rendered fat just kills me. But if I'm in a better period where I'm not like detoxing right now, and if I'm in a period where I'm not detoxing, my nervous system is calmed down, then I'm able to tolerate foods better. So like last summer, I'll tell you guys, for you guys looking to lose weight, last summer, I was 110 pounds. I looked like a skeleton. I was on death's door, and I put on 20 pounds in 2 months from eating a stick of butter a day. So if you guys are stalled with your weight loss, I would suggest cutting the butter out and just stick with the meat. I think a lot of people are addicted to butter because it just tastes so damn good. But if you can't lose the weight, you might want to cut the butter out and the cheese. So
yeah, that's a good one. That's good. Carnivore crowd. I'm not sleeping heaps. Struggle to get to sleep. Maybe 12 a.m., 1 a.m. Get in before. Any tips on sleep?
Do I have tips on sleep? Well, there's a lot of things that go into sleep, right? A lot of it's hormonal. Or I'd say pretty much all of it's hormonal. So, some people have a hard time adapting to keto, and that could lead to sleep problems, especially in the beginning. if you've had like insulin resistance before and you start getting into keto. And for some people, it could take a year on keto before they could actually start sleeping. But what I do every morning, I have my routine. I get my red light because I wake up really early, like you guys. Like I'm crazy, like Kiltz, and we like text each other sometimes at like 4 a.m. or like 3:30 in the morning, and he's the only one who responds to me at that time. So, but I wake up. I have my red light filter on my phone and my computer right now. And I get my red light therapy. I'll typically do that for about 20 minutes in the morning. And I'll listen to a podcast at the same time. So I'm not bored, just sitting there staring into my red light. And I get my morning sunlight. So typically I'll try to get at least an hour in the morning whenever the sunrise comes up and just get as much sun as possible, because that helps with melatonin production at nighttime. And then when it comes to nighttime, when the sun's going down, you want to have your blue light blockers on. You could, have your blue light blockers on, have the red light applications turn on your device. I use Twilight on my phone. And then on my computer, I can't remember what app I use on there. But I find that helps tremendously, and sometimes it could take a bit of time. And then, if you're fasting a lot, fasting definitely still gives me some insomnia, but I think on carnivore maybe you need less sleep. You're not eating carbs, like your energy is better. Like if you're getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep but you wake up and you feel great, then what's the problem? I don't think you need to go by the conventional wisdom of like, oh, I need my 8 hours a night. Like this is just, where does that come from? That's just like a modern thing where they've done some studies on regular people eating regular food that need their 8 hours of sleep. But carnivores, we're lions, we're predators, right?
Get out there and hunt every day.
Yeah, we're meant to be hunters, right? So,
and we're not meant to be in our boxes. Our boxes are highly inflammatory creating, right? The rooms we live in, we're not outdoors. But I imagine it was kind of stressful 50,000 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like we weren't sleeping in till friggin' 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., like, I really think that, waking up, I don't know. Like, I mean, a lot of people say that you should be going to bed when the sun goes down and waking up when the sun comes up. But
I do.
Yeah, you do that. But you're awake. But you're awake like early for these.
Oh, I'm awake really early, but I go to sleep between 6:30 and maybe 7, maybe latest 8, unless I'm at a meetup.
In like the winter in Canada, it's like
it
gets dark at like 4:30 p.m. And
okay.
Like, I mean, you can make the case that maybe we're not meant to live in these like winter climates where you don't get like vitamin D for like 7 months a year. Like I'm in Florida now, but it get dark at 4:30 p.m. and it doesn't get light till like 6 a.m. So that to me, like ancestrally, doesn't make sense unless you're sleeping for like friggin' 15 hours a night.
I live at the equator more or less, and it's dark at 6, like sun's down totally at 6:45. But I do wake up extremely early, so I'm in bed.
So
we got 12 questions over here, Dr.
Let's get some questions. And just napping is so important. Listen, most animals don't say, oh, did you get your 7 hours or 8 hours? Nobody does that. Like, just take a nap. Be done with it. Go ahead, questions.
Here's the first question, Larry Ryan from Chicago, my Chicago friend. Is there live stream for Meat Stock 2025?
There was last year. I think we're going to do some of it this year. I don't think we're going to do all of it. Just it's too much, But I think for some people, we probably will do live stream. I think for the carnivore panel. So in the carnivore panel, I think we're going to have Kiltz, like all the biggest of the big on the carnivore panel. Kiltz and Bella and Baker and who else this year? I don't know. I can't think right now.
Not Everson.
No, I'm not speaking. I'm going to get up there maybe just to tell a few jokes and bomb, but I'm trying to get better with the speaking stuff. But let's see who else. I think like Kelly Hogan. Kelly Hogan and Lisa Wiedemann and all those guys will be on the carnivore panel. So I think I'll live stream that. And then also we're going to do like a celebrity carnivore chopped. I don't know if Dr. Kiltz would be interested in that, but we're going to do like a celebrity thing where I think we're probably going to live stream it on maybe like Courtney Luna or Bella's channel. And because I don't like YouTubing anymore. I'm done with that for a lot of reasons. And, you know, we'll have like men versus women. So it's like, here's 15 ingredients. You have half an hour to make 2 recipes. Go, you know? And I think that'd be fun to live stream. And and then maybe Ken Berry or something like that. We'll live stream him. And so we'll see.
Oh, maybe you could have the doctors like taste the food. Like, I'm all for that. I'll do eggs and bacon, baby. And then who makes the best eggs and bacon? Who makes the best steak? And the doctors could be the judges.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Actually, last year we did one day we did like an organ tasting thing.
Ooh, I'm all for that.
Yeah, I live streamed that with Angela, and like people were kind of blindfolded, and it's like, here, you know, try to guess what these organs are. And I had like all the gross stuff, even though I love it, but it was like balls and you know, testicles and brain and kidney and sweetbreads, and which is thymus, and all sorts of things.
Right,
Dr. Baker was completely
next question. Yeah, we got to get through 11.
Q.
Okay, have you been diagnosed with MCAS?
Yeah, that's mast cell activation syndrome. That is like just a perpetual litany of inflammation. I really think mast cell activation syndrome is, I mean, you know, these mast cell activation syndrome doctors are the worst, you know, because they'll prescribe exactly what caused my mast cell activation syndrome. So like these so-called doctors like Dr. Afrin will recommend going on benzodiazepines. No, what you need to do to cure your mast cell activation syndrome is go on a carnivore diet and reduce your stress and implement all these lifestyle measures that we're talking about, you know, because mast cell activation syndrome, when you heal that leaky gut, your MCAS is going to go away. Guaranteed. I haven't had a single person that hasn't healed their MCAS, and these doctors will tell you, oh, you're born with it. It's genetics, you know, load of horse crap. You could absolutely heal your MCAS.
Great. Dr. Kiltz, did you have something, or do I go on with the next question?
Go.
This is Jonathan, Carnivore Muscle. Has anyone with CRPS that has had an effective treatment or improvement of symptoms?
Carnivore.
Sorry, what is CRPS?
Nelson?
Yeah, what is CRPS? I thought one of the doctors, Nelson. We can't hear him. He's muted on his end.
Sorry, I was muted. Chronic regional pain syndrome used to be called reflex sympathetic dystrophy. And
sounds like fibromyalgia.
No, but it is a pain. It's a pain. I've done a lot of pain medicine, and it's a frustrating as fibromyalgia, by the way, as far as treatment. But the thing, and I haven't had any patients since I became carnivore and been involved with this. I haven't had any patient with this, and trying to recommend very low carbohydrate or carnivore. But people on very low carbohydrate diets or carnivore diets are dealing basically with inflammation, and pain will decrease. I used to have chronic pain, which was very frustrating because I could only use the anti-inflammatories. Not very frequently could I use muscle relaxants, or definitely not be on narcotics, because you didn't want to come and see me at the office if I'm using hydrocodone, you know, or oxycodone. So, but pain is gone. Pain is gone. Chronic pain is gone.
So Brother Ray says a couple things. If it's not sleep nor sleep duration, it's how we judge ourselves about sleep and what we have deemed necessary. Furthermore, drug companies can't sell a drug without creating an artificial need. So ultimately, we've created all these artificial diagnoses that then we've created. I've got this, I've got that, I've got this. Do you have? It's kind of like saying I have poison ivy disease. Is there such a poison ivy disease?
Mm-mm.
There isn't contact dermatitis. Okay. But ultimately we're all just, it's contact inflammation. And that's a simple answer. And then our mindset is kind of like keeps us in the dungeon. And we've got to just stop. Maybe we've got to throw out all these diagnoses. I'm healthy and well. You're here today, right? We've got the most amazing people on today, and we're all working to heal. But as you're saying, Dr. Nelson and Scott and Alia, it's simply going carnivore seems to be the benefit for so many of these things.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you eliminate the plant toxins, like you were talking about the chronic inflammation, like, I mean, God, oxalates causes inflammation like nobody's business. So when I eliminated, I had chronic pelvic pain syndrome for 20 something years. And when I cut out the oxalates and salicylates, that got infinitely better. I wasn't peeing 10 times a night like I was.
When you say
I also had hundreds of kidney stones, which stopped. So
when you say oxalates and salicylates, well, that's scientific. What did you cut out?
Well, I was eating a lot of like almond type stuff. Like I love my almond butter, almond flour, spinach. Man, I was super high oxalate, sweet potato.
Plants, a lot of plants.
Yeah, salicylates is in all plant foods pretty much. So yeah. So
and those are like little. It's like those are like little spiky things that like poke into your cells and poke into your gut, right? Salicylates. I'm trying to be non-scientific.
Well, it's sort of like we that's maybe part of the challenge, I think, in medicine is we got all these complicated terms, but it's, how many times has someone asked you, Scott, what do you eat exactly?
Mm-hmm.
What do I eat exactly?
How many doctors have asked you and gone through a complete menu of what you consume?
Right. Yeah. So like right now I'm on a lion diet. I eat steak and lamb and some organs, and that's pretty much it. I woke up this morning, I had some brain and a bit of lamb.
Nice.
So I fried up some brain. Brain's great. I mean, it's
where did you get that?
I get it from Billy Doe Meats, which I heard about from Rebecca Heischman a few years ago. She was actually my first carnivore coach. And it's a great source of phosphatidylserine, it's probably the highest source of cholesterol. So if you're looking to balance your hormones, I really think that eating stuff like brain is essential. It's also a great source of omegas. So yeah, the more cholesterol, the better, I guess, right? So I think brain's great.
Let's do speed round and get the last 11 questions answered real quick, because we got 17 minutes left. Okay. Brian Fly Fisherman Dish question. Can anyone explain why high fat is better than just all natural meat? They are eating the way they always have for, I guess, a millennium. For millenniums. Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Go, Dr. Kiltz.
Question.
Oh, well, ultimately, when we killed the animal, we ate the organ meats and the fat. We ate it raw. I think part of the problem is when you cook meat, you melt away the fat, and most of the meat is lean anyway. The reason we suggest fatty meat, and we talk a lot about fat, because we want you to focus on that. And I think that's it. I mean, I think raw fat is the best. Butter is good. I think rendered fat is not in our favor.
There you go. Next speed question. Is the guest, Scott, familiar with Dr. Sarno's work?
No, I don't think I've ever heard Dr. Sarno. Who's that?
There you go. Who is that? Okay, next, Andrea. If I put down a deposit, one person for a 2-person cabin for me stock, will they fill the other space in my cabin?
Well, for one person, yes, we would, unless you could find a friend or something like that. So, for the cabins, the rooms are shared, so we would fill out the other space for you.
It's carnivore camp, huh?
Carnivore camp. How fun.
I'll tell you, the cool thing about Meat Stock is, like, if you do the retreat part, you actually get to like live with all these people, at least for a while, So it's like like I said, I'd say Ken Berry's probably the only person because he lives close by, and he doesn't want to live with all you guys, all you schmucks. But but if you want to, like, Mikhail Peterson's going to live with us for the night, Sean Baker and Kiltz and all these people, Shafee and all these people, they're going to be living with us in the retreats and stuff. So, if you want to wake up and eat some eggs with Dr. Kiltz, then it's a great place to do it. And I just love it. To me, it's like been life-changing. It's my favorite thing to do is just doing these retreats and stuff. I have a couple of smaller retreats too, like more intimate ones coming up later in the year. One is in Mont Tremblant, Quebec, for all you Canadians out there, which is near and dear to my heart. And then one is going to be around Hack Your Health. And we're going to have Bella, Marie Emmerich, Kiltz, and Lisa Wiedemann are going to be joining us for both those small retreats. It's like 15 people. Yeah, it's like 15 people retreats. So if you want like a really intimate retreat with those amazing people, and then Hack Your Health, we're actually going to be doing VIP dinners with all the speakers from Hack Your Health, or a lot of them. So I think we have like maybe 100 tickets for the dinners for that on
awesome
meetstockconvention.com. You could look under Meet Retreats as well.
Great. Awesome. Nicole Petra, is anyone using carnivore to help severe asthma? I just want to pipe in real quick. I never had severe asthma, but I had severe cat allergies, which seem to have disappeared, and I now own 6 cats.
Yeah, carnivore helps heal allergies like nobody's business. Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know about asthma, but they're kind of like, I think, similar, asthma and allergies. So I don't know if anyone else.
All inflammation is an allergy.
Exactly. Inflammation causes allergies, and leaky gut will.
Which basically an allergy is, they're the same. Allergy and inflammation are the same.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay, great. So yes, the answer we're saying right now is yes. Try it out and come back and let us know how it works for you.
I still carry this. Haven't used it in a year and a half.
Wow,
that's awesome.
Great, Dr. Nelson. There's your answer.
Yet another thing that carnivore has cured.
How long did you use that for?
For a few years, develop allergies.
Yeah.
At some point, and it just I haven't needed to use it again. I still have it with me, probably expired because I don't know how old it is.
Baby aspirin and Crestor. What do you think? Well, it depends why he wants to put you on. I mean, I'm never for taking drugs and supplements, or I'm never for taking drugs at least. So I would say there's no reason. There's nothing you can't fix with lifestyle. And I mean, sometimes if you're in like an acute stage where it's like you're on, I don't know, if you just had a heart attack or something. I don't know what Dr. Kiltz's thoughts are on that, but.
Well, I mean, the largest killers are still microbes. And antibiotics, antifungal, and viral, still pretty amazing things that we've developed from nature initially, and so
more medical questions will be answered on our Monday 5:30 p.m. Zoom calls.
Yeah,
you have to be a member. drkiltz.com. Sign up. It's free, and we can have more detailed talks about that stuff.
Next question.
Scott, what do you mean by detox? What did you do? From Vanish.
Well, I was stupid, and I think detox is part of the natural healing process. Like when you detox, those toxins get released, through your bloodstream, and your body has to process them. Your liver has to process them. If you have MTHFR, like I do, you're going to have a more difficult time detoxing, because your detox pathways aren't maybe working as properly as they should be. I have some thoughts on that, but that's for a longer discussion. But what I did this time is I started taking zeolite to see if it would help with my histamine intolerance. But zeolite also detoxes the body. It binds to a lot of different things like toxins and binds to heavy metals, especially, and helps take them out of your body. Yeah, it helps clean out the liver. Dr. Lisa, I need some coaching from you. My liver sucks.
She's amazing. She's a rock star.
I'm still on this crap, and this stuff's hard on your liver, Cymbalta. I'm trying to wean off this crap. But yeah, my liver is like, I feel the liver pain right now as we speak. My liver's congested from the detox. And then when you go through these detox reactions, it's like hell, it's like you get this like inflammatory response. You have these like, inflammatory like cytokines, and, it's hard to like tolerate food, and your gut's a mess, and you're having diarrhea, and your brain fog and all that stuff goes up. But sometimes it's part of the healing process. And when people go carnivore, you're going to notice that you're going to go through detox a lot of the time, like especially if you're coming from a sad diet and you go carnivore, you could feel a lot worse before you get better. So that first month up to maybe even 3 months for some people could be rough, So I always like to warn people, I love the success stories. I love people that went carnivore and healed within a week. But I don't know if that's the majority of people. I think there's a lot of people out there like me that go carnivore, and it could take months before you start feeling better. Sometimes a lot of people feel worse before they feel better. So you got to try that out. I'd say if you're feeling worse, try, if you have a lot of inflammation like I do, try fasting. Fasting with carnivore combined has been the best thing in the world for me. So, it's something I always tell people to do. Start with the fasting, start with 16 hours, build your way up, go to 18, 24, 36, 48, 72. I've never gone beyond 72, but I know Kiltz is.
I'm on my 80th hour of fasting right now.
Nice.
My last meal was Sunday night.
Yeah. And what benefits have you guys seen from fasting? What do you benefit from it? Like, why do you do it?
Well, it's food freedom.
Yeah.
Food freedom.
We don't actually see, like autophagy. I improved my autophagy. My blood sugars, which I'm always looking at, are much better when I'm fasting. I do keep track a little bit of ketones as well. But I feel, as a matter of fact, this past couple of days I haven't slept much because I got too much energy.
Yeah.
And so the healing of the gut requires fasting. That means 3 to 5 days of no food. And we historically likely went days without food, and maybe even in wintertime, we might have gone weeks and months without food at all. We hibernated, we caved it, we nested. And so the gut cannot heal without fasting. And when I say fasting, that means no food in the gut. The problem is if you do 16 hours, your gut is never empty of food. So that means it's always working. And so the liver's always working, and you want to rest it and allow the glycocalyx of the bowel to heal. That is one of the best things. And we're going to do a 5-day fast. We do it January, April, July, and October. I did a 7-day fast added last year.
Oh my God,
I do a 2 to 3 day fast every month, and I typically do a 23-and-1 every day.
I'm gonna try to go at least 7 days this time. I don't know if I'll make it, but today is number 4.
It's weird. I think like some people really, if you're insulin resistant, you need to build your way up to it. It's not one of like if you're a week into carnivore, just going into a 5-day fast can be like
it's
massive.
But
you have to build up.
Right. But again, the insulin resistance is actually healed on fasting.
Well, that's true. But I just found so when I first went carnivore, and like even now, like when I first went carnivore though, and I tried fasting, even 24 hours was brutal for me.
It's hard.
I would get severe pounding, like I'd feel my heart pounding in my head, like headaches.
That's withdrawal. That's just withdrawal from
that's that's probably right.
So what did you do 50,000 years ago? You got up and you went hunting. but you still took days and days and days to find food, if not longer.
Yeah.
And so I think this is, again, we're coffee, tea, energy drinks, constantly grazing, right? Because we're domesticated animals. We've been domesticated in a box to eat out of a box, from box stores and box, industrial production centers. And as I travel the world, you see all these warehouse boxes. Mm-hmm. We're basically warehoused. But ultimately, when you get out into nature and you realize that we can do anything, we're lions. And so that's, I think, a critical thing for us to begin to think. Fasting is hard as shit, but it's easier than a marathon to me.
Yeah, I was never able to do 72-hour fast before because I feel like death. But I'll tell you, now I do them and I feel pretty damn good. I don't always feel good when I break the fast. I'll be honest.
Oh,
I have to break it very carefully. If I eat a lot of fat when I break it, like if I eat my normal amount of fat when I break a fast, I will have on like the worst. Sorry if it's TMI, but I'll have the worst diarrhea ever. And potentially for like 2 days after. And then I also feel pretty lethargic when I break a fast. I think it's like because your cortisol goes down and your body's like, oh, I could finally rest. I have food now. I'm just like in a food coma where I'm like, oh my God.
But that's what your body's supposed to do.
Yeah.
You eat, you rest, you digest. I eat a big meal and I nap.
Do you get that when you break a fast? Do you sometimes feel like just so lethargic? You're just like, oh my God, I can't even stay awake right now.
Well, but I don't call it lethargy. I just say, oh, it's time to nap.
Yeah.
Lions don't complain. Now, I think again, we've been set up.
Right.
We've been given every single problem of the world and we live it.
Right.
But we have none.
Yeah. I think it's all perception, like what we're taught to be is normal, right? We're like, oh,
right on, Scott.
We shouldn't be getting 4 hours a night, like Dr. Nelson on his 80-hour fast. That's horrible for you. It's going to kill you. It's like, says who, right? That's ridiculous. If you feel fine and if you're keto and you're getting 4 hours sleep a night and you feel fine doing it, I think that's healthy. There's no problem there,
Right. We gotta do the speed round now. We gotta continue.
We'll do as much as we can. Keep going.
Brandon, Alia, I have a question, please. Does ghee or tallow help with cardio health? Dr. Kiltz.
Well, does tallow help? I mean, fat helps with everything. I'm not a tallow fan. I eat raw fat. I eat really rare fat. I cook a steak, black and blue. The fat is like jiggling. And that's what you want to eat because it kills the microbes. Remember, the gastrointestinal microbes love your lean meat and they flourish and they go up and down. They go everywhere in your body. And basically that causes all our inflammatory problems, but eat the fatty meat.
Exactly. Okay, before the next question, everyone put hashtag meat stock. We have 169 people watching from on StreamYard.
And go to what's your website?
Do you mind if we go to meatstockconvention.com again one more time before we?
Yeah, we'll do that. But everyone put hashtag meatstock into the chat.
Hashtag meatstock. Here we go.
Yeah, okay.
And what I want to inspire everyone to do is go to Meatstock and get your 26 spot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to get it.
Especially if you're interested in the cabin retreat, they sell fast, and you get to live with all these people except for Dr. Barry. All these other people on the list. If you scroll down, Aaliyah.
Yeah. Oh, wrong place to scroll. Okay, here we go.
Get to live with us, or you could just come to the convention. If you don't want to live with these fine people, that's fine. But if you want to live with Michaela and Chafee and Baker and Berg and Bonnie, Harry and Kiltz, and
there's going to be a lot of conversations going on during that time, and the convention is going to be set speaker talks, correct?
Yeah, the convention is going to be speaker talks, and we're going to have some epic panels up on there, and with all your favorite carnivores, and some other and we got some awesome MCs. We got Dave Mack coming from Japan.
Yes.
I love Dave Mack. Serena.
Dave's amazing.
Going to be our MCs. I love Lauren. All these people. So If you guys want
to
come to the Cab Retreat, I would say buy your tickets right away. If you're going to the convention, then you don't have to do it right away, but you get the early bird special, so you get a bit of a discount.
Great. That's awesome. So you got a few more seconds. We will do, I'm sorry, only 2 more questions, and then we're going to do the giveaway. So please continue to put hashtag meat stock into the chat. Here is a question. Good blue blocker brand. Scott.
Well, so one of our vendors is Soleil Well. It's Soleil, like the French word, and then just well. And she does red lights and blue light blockers. So if you guys are interested in improving your sleep, I'd say that's the best place to go, because we've tested out her products. There's no EMF, there's no flicker. They're just really, really good quality red lights and blue light blockers.
Is it
like I said before, you could get the Twilight app or another app on your phone and turn that on in the morning at nighttime. And then there's a bunch of apps that you can put on your computer if you use like a desktop, and make sure you keep that red light on again during the dark hours. So
great. Last question we're going to take up is, does fasting also help the kidneys?
Helps everything. I mean, autophagy doesn't stop in certain, it's not certain organs or whatever. I mean, autophagy occurs everywhere in your body.
Always. So. It's always happening, by the way.
Right.
It never stops. What's your website, Scott?
Meatstockconvention.com. If you guys are interested in I'm
putting it in there.
But critical.
2025, there's no chance. So 2025 wait list is like 100 something people. So I don't think, unless that many people cancel, it's a smaller event. So I think we're only going to have about 350 people this year. Next year, I'm aiming for about 2,000 people, and it's going to be a much bigger event.
Where's it at?
There are more tickets to sell. So, I highly recommend coming, guys. It'll be in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And, it's going to be right out there in the mountains. It's a beautiful time. And I highly suggest at least check out the website considering it. I'd really appreciate it if you guys did that, because these events are pretty expensive to put on. And I'm hoping to at least make my money back.
And it's learning how to heal yourself,
right?
Because our health insurance isn't helping, our standard medical system isn't helping, and so it's just adding more drugs. And I think the best way is throw out all the drugs, and you got to go through the pain.
Yeah, it can be painful, like for a while, guys.
Yeah,
the healing process can be very painful. And it could be the hardest thing you ever go through, but on the other side is a much different life. But use that pain. You have to change your perception of pain and have gratitude for it, and try to derive as much purpose and meaning in your life out of pain as possible. Like I wouldn't be sitting here with you guys. I wouldn't have knowing some of the best people I know, Dr. Nelson, Dr. Kiltz, Aaliyah. These people are all the best people I've ever met. And I wouldn't be sitting here had it not been through all the pain that I've gone through in my life. And I just want to say how much I appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing doctors, and you guys are healing humanity. And I absolutely love you guys.
Scott, you're amazing. And we've learned so much. And the story of our pain is really critical. Our hardships, our challenges, and how we're working all together to improve our lives, and easier than a marathon.
Absolutely.
Easier than a marathon.
Vitamin G, gratitude.
Ben Azadi, our good brother.
Scott, we love you too.
Is Ben coming to the meat stock?
Ben Azadi is coming this year, yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Ben's another rock star, brother.
Yeah, Dr. Nelson, you need to come. You need to come.
He's
brother.
coming.
He's coming. He's on the list of people from
for 2025.
Yeah.
You can come whenever you want, man. Any year. I don't care. You're always invited.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's see who wins the giveaway. It is not a ticket to Meat Stock. It is a Kiltz cup.
Well, maybe we'll do a meat stock ticket for 26.
We will do a meet.
Next time.
Okay, so Scott, next time you're here, and we'll put that in the books. IO Odyssey, please email me, alia@drkiltz.com. But Scott, next time you're here, we'll do a Meatstock ticket for 2026.
You know what? I will. I'll give 2 free tickets.
Oh, wow.
Away to Meatstock 2026 for the convention.
Awesome.
And congratulations, Odyssey. It's one of my favorite books. And if you're struggling, that is another great book to read. Who's the guy in Odysseus? And he goes through all the trials and tribulations in life. He's like a Greek god, and life keeps throwing shit at him, but he always overcomes and conquers, and he's all the better for it in the end. So I love that story.
And that's what we're all here to do, is share our stories of our hardships, our challenges, our failures. And God says, I gifted that to you. And I always say faith in God is like the most important thing within all of us. Yeah. God is good. And all the hardships.
God gives you those challenges for a reason. So you got to run with them.
Right. Because he loves us.
Yeah.
He loves us. We don't know what the finish line is. And we just got to keep moving forward with it all. So any last words, Dr. Nelson?
Nope. Go to the website, drkiltz.com, and sign up for our free membership.
There you go.
By the way, the Kiltz cups are all signed by Kiltz. They're all personally made and unique and different, just like you are, but made of the same stardust. What, Scott, were you going to say?
Oh, I wasn't going to say anything, but go to drkiltz.com and sign up. These guys are the best people you could ever work with. If you guys are looking to heal and you guys want to be in the best community, like these guys, this is where it's at. So absolutely.
And let's make sure people can go to drkiltz.com and get Scott's Meatstock stuff and
I will get that on the list.
Dr. Nelson's coaching. We're going to be doing some personal coaching with Dr. Nelson and Alia, and more coaches coming. Even Scott Everson's going to join us in one way or another. I know it.
There you go. Oh, okay. Last question. Is there a coupon code for Meatstock?
You know what? The retreat sells out so fast that I don't typically have a coupon code for the retreat. Like I said, there's an early bird special right now where there's a bit of a discount on the website. So you guys could get that if you sign up early. But no, we don't have any codes right now.
Okay, there you go.
It's a discounted deal already for, the experts of the world are going to be at this, and you're going to have a personal opportunity to get a chance to listen, learn, speak, ask, for sure.
Yeah. No, I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for doing this for me. And
sure.
I really appreciate all you guys and your support. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here and sharing part of your story.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. I'm so happy to have met you in Tampa a couple months ago. And I've already learned a lot from you. You're a brilliant man. So thank you.
We're blessed. All right. We're signing